wondrous creation that gives off oxygen and shade that we call a tree. Ve'ekach pat lechem ve'yisudu levavachem. And let me get you a little bit of bread. Let me prepare some food for you. Achacha avahu ki al ken avatim al avdachem ve'yomru ken ta'aseh. And he said, let me make your journey a little more pleasant. And they said, sure, that sounds great to me. Kasher dibra v'yamaher ha'faham ha'ala el Torah. And he's a typical male. He's very, very gracious, offering everything, and he runs over to Sarah's tent and says, go get him some food. Go prepare some food for them. And I will not read the rest of the passage, but I'll make some comments about the legendary hospitality of Abraham. I will say this, though. I'll take off my glasses for this. I don't know about you, but I spent a lot of time in a mosque, many mosques, throughout Palm Beach County and beyond. And I will tell you this, if you want to see what the hospitality of Abraham was like, try checking out a mosque. They're all over this area, and you will see people who will come running over to greet you and reflect the hospitality of Abraham. One of many ways that they retain the original, the original spirit of the Torah. And at least in this county and in this area, if they find out that you're Jewish, they will welcome you even more. Not so in some other Arab countries in the Middle East. There you might want to hide your Jewish star. Here in this county, we have very, very strong friends and allies among the Muslim community, our brothers and sisters. The blessing after the Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tachenu, Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Thank you very much, Jack and Janet. Thanks for all you do in the community. They are true activists, and I feel better knowing that we have people like that who are allies of ours working with us on some of these issues. Now, I want to share with you a story about God. You know, many people think, at Va-Dor, they're really not into God. Actually, I probably talk more about God than maybe any other synagogue around. And so I'm going to do so again today with a little story about God. And he was looking very down in the dumps. The angel said, what's the matter with you today? He said, I'm in love with an atheist, and she doesn't even know I exist. So this story, it reminds me of this passage here. The passage says, God appears, and there's no mention of God. God doesn't seem to exist in this passage. Did the Torah make a mistake? Oh, impossible. The Torah never makes mistakes, especially if you don't read it literally and you look at it metaphorically. So where is God in this passage? Well, God's not in the kosher laws. As I mentioned before, Abraham was not kosher. He had Ham in his name. And also in this very passage, I didn't read the rest of it, but if you dust off your Bibles and read the English translation, you will see. He serves meat and dairy. He gets some cream. We're not sure exact translation, but some kind of dairy product, some kind of cream and milk and meat. He didn't keep the kosher laws because they didn't exist yet. He didn't pray in a synagogue because there was no such thing as a synagogue. He didn't follow the rituals of Judaism because there were no rituals. He didn't read the Torah because there was no Torah. He didn't do all of the things that most people associate with being Jewish and finding God. He did none of them. But this passage tells us the real way that you can connect with this power that is all over the place. If you look around today and you see the beauty of nature, and you see the children playing, and you see the incredible technology that we've developed where you can push a button and you're transported from one place to another. and even greater technology that's helping us to figure out how to do that without destroying the planet, you will see that there is a creative power at large all over the place. This passage tells you how to find it and how to get in touch with it. How do we do it? Well, we don't take it all literally, like I said, like the story of Lot's wife. We just take it with a grain of salt. We don't accept it all literally. Okay, so how does the passage tell us? If it's telling us what we don't do, how is it telling us what we should do? Number one, Abraham shows by his actions, not by his words. He acts. He runs over. And I was just kidding. He provides the food. He runs over and gets them food, and Sarah does too. He acts in a way that is hospitable. He shows love for other people, recognizing that this creative spark that's in him is also in everybody else. And he sees this unity among the entire human family. These were strangers. Okay, they weren't Jews. They couldn't be. There were no other Jews but him at that time. He was hospitable to this stranger in the extreme. I mean, he was running all over, getting them things. He doesn't even know who they are. He has a big tent, and he has a big tent which is filled with the intent to do things to make other people happy. He is not content unless he can be of service to others, and he goes to a great extent to help his fellow human being. And he also is able to see portents of what's to come in other chapters. What else does Abraham do to show that he's Jewish, that he had the credentials, the merits to be the first Jew, and to also seek godliness? He defied authority. Most people think, oh, that's terrible. To be religious, you have to go along with all these rituals or rules. He didn't think so. He broke his father's idols. He destroyed them. But he didn't completely obliterate the past. He still wanted to know and experience this power and tap into it like his father was trying to do. He just found a better way. He defied authority and found a better way to accomplish what his father was trying to do that made a little more sense. He wasn't quite all the way there yet. He didn't quite understand all the workings of reasoning and science and stuff, but he took the first step towards trying to improve and to defy authority. Not only that, not only his father, he defied the greatest authority of all. He defied God. God said, I'm going to wipe out Sodom and Gomorrah. It's later on in this chapter. He says, you can't do that. You're the God of justice. Shouldn't the God of justice act justly? He had the chutzpah to defy God. And I think that's the greatest credential that he had. To be the first Jew. And how do you find God? It's not by just paying lip service to what other people have told you to do. It's challenging even your own concept of God and coming up with something better. He was defiant. You know, there was a great Jewish hero named Tuvia Bielski. Tuvia Bielski was living in the 1930s in the area that was about to be conquered by the Nazis. And he heard about atrocities. And he was riding on horseback from one village to the other. And he came back to his village, said, you're not going to believe what's going on, but this is really horrible. People are being wiped out. He said, you got to be crazy. Nobody would do the things that you're talking about. That's not even remotely possible. We do not believe you. But he had been to these villages and came back. My friends, we are like that today. Our scientists have been telling us for 50 years there are atrocities and horrible things that are going on right now. And it's going to get worse. If you think it's bad now, you haven't seen nothing yet. You think the coronavirus is bad? You think that plague is bad? It's killing hundreds of thousands of people? It's altering your economy? It's nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. It's a warning sign. It's a shot across the bow compared to what's coming with climate change. And what do? Just like they reacted to Tuvia Bielski. I can't believe that. That's impossible. What you're saying is so horrible. Look at the world around us. It's tranquil. It's peaceful. That could never happen. You are an alarmist. And then he took matters into his own hands. He went and warned people. He gathered people. He took them out into the forests. He formed partisan groups, and he spent his days fighting against evil and saving as many people as he could. Look him up. Tuv Yabilski, an incredible hero. And what was his motto? Freedom begins with an act of defiance. That's what we say to BlackRock. You might think that you're powerful and you're strong and you're mighty. That's what the British thought when they were trying to take over the United States and thought that they could rule us like a colony. That's what the Nazis, a lot of people thought that they were too strong. Even some former presidents thought that they could never lose. But my friends, BlackRock is going to experience the wrath and the righteous indignation of a people. And I hope that the Jewish people will lead on this Friday, because there's going to be gatherings on Sunday and protests on Monday, that we will defy authority, and there's nobody out there who's so big and powerful that they will get away with destroying our planet. He is a role model for us all. And so is Martin Luther King, who said, our lives begin to end the day we are silent about things that matter. Our spiritual lives begin to end. How do we find God? By latching us to a purpose that gives life meaning and protecting creation, singing about it, praying about it, rallying about it, and voting for people who are going to protect creation. Not climate deniers, not people who are denying the obvious. We need to mobilize in every single way. The religious leaders, the political leaders, the people who run organizations in your communities, gathering around by the pool, wherever you are. Do not allow them to get away with this. Now, how do we find God? Where was he sitting when God appeared? He was sitting under an oak tree. Some people thought, you know what? That tree, that's where you'll find God. It's giving you life in the form of oxygen. It's converting energy from the sun into physical matter that makes life possible. It's giving you food to eat, and it's performing endless miracles. Just one of those trees, and we got them all over. And now we have this despicable, outrageous BlackRock. And not just them. When you go to McDonald's or Burger King, find out where they're getting their meat. Is it coming from the Amazon? Probably. Give it up. Find out. Because it's not just BlackRock, but they are doing things that we should protest against. And we will not allow that to happen, because they're destroying trees in the Amazon, deforesting, funneling money into fossil fuels. Fossil fuels, my friend, is dead in more ways than one. How else do we be Jewish? Look at the story of Noah. Everyone was doing it. Everyone was smoking it. Everyone was saying it. And he had the courage to just say Noah. He was different. Today, we need to just say Noah. But this is Spanish Heritage Month. Do you know how to say Noah in Spanish? Anybody? Noé. Noé. I say we should say today, no way to fossil fuels. No way to companies that invest in death and destruction. No way to complacency. No way to servility. No way to cynicism. No way to anti-abortion laws that cause 12-year-old girls to be forced to become parents against their will. No way! Just say Noah. And by the way, it is not only a grotesque assault against the gender that brings life to all of us. We males should be so grateful for what women go through. We should never impose our will on them and tell them that if you're 12 or 15 or whatever you are, you have 5 kids and you have to have enough. There's no way. No way that that should happen. But my friends, it's also an assault against Jewish law. Because in Jewish law, women have rights to determine autonomy over their own bodies, and they cannot sacrifice their life if it's threatened. Even the health of a woman if it's threatened by a fetus. That law in Texas would require Jewish people not to be able to practice their own faith, and not just Jews. people of all different religions who don't ascribe to this fanatical, nonsensical, irrational fundamentalism which tries to impose their will on us. We should say no way to those kind of laws. And so I'm happy to be here on this wonderful Shabbat to talk about when does God appear? He appears in us when we're willing to fight for something that is going to protect life. We saw William Shatner. He went off into space at 90 years old. You know what that means? By the way, Noah was 600 when he built the ark and gathered all the animals all over the earth and then figured out how to bring them back to where they belong. No easy feat. Abraham was 99 when he had his child and when he started his great mission. Shatner was 90 years old when he went off into space. And you know why he did that? Because he wanted to go where no 90-year-old has ever gone before. And I tell you, my friends, in cosmic Judaism, by uniting rational thinking and science with religion, and combining that with interfaith harmony and social action, we will begin to take religion where it's never been before and transform it from the tribal to the global and to the cosmic, and use religion to bring all people together behind the common goal and task that is the moral issue of our time, to protect the planet and its inhabitants, because to destroy it is the worst form of sacrilege. And if we do that, if we're able to lead the charge in uniting Judaism and religion so all religions can do that, then this planet and all its inhabitants will live long and prosper. Shabbat Shalom. Now we're going to sing. Thank you very much. We'll have a speaker right now. We have one of the ringleaders, one of the organizers, who's saying to BlackRock and saying to the spoilers, no. No way. Susan Steinhauser, she's with Citizens Climate Lobby. There's a lot of groups organizing this, but I wanted her to share some words with us. Susan, come on up and share some thoughts.
I'm short. You can use mine if you want.
No, you can use it. Bring it.
Hey everybody, can you hear me okay without feedback? Good? Hey, thanks, Arnie. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you.
We'll give you feedback afterwards.
I just want to thank the Rabbi, Sharon, Bill, everybody who put this together. It is beyond.
Be a little closer to them.
It is beyond what I ever would have thought this could have been. So thank you so much. The only issue I'm having is that everything that I prepared, somebody has already mentioned today. So what this may end up becoming is indeed a political public service announcement. I do want to say that I'm honored to be here and thrilled that I'm here with my parents, Lee and Herb Radak, who didn't raise me to be an activist or politically engaged, but they did raise me to be grateful. So every morning I say my own particular daily Shehecheyanu. I never understood why it was only for special occasions. Any day that I wake up without an ache in a joint is a special occasion. So I was thrilled even just to hear Shehecheyanu today. I didn't expect that. It was like, whoa. Barry mentioned the children, Va-Dor, Va-Dor. That's why we're here, to pass this beautiful world to our children and our grandchildren. The only issue that I've been having lately, really, is that although I'm an optimist and I'm generally a really super happy person, we have an issue where every day we turn on the television and we see wildfires and floods and we see discourse and divisiveness, and we have this sense that nobody in Washington, D.C. or Tallahassee is doing anything about it. And I personally get frustrated. I wake up now, instead of joyous, I wake up with my teeth grinding, with my jaw painful. So I'm here tonight because I need you guys to help me. The rabbi offered me this wonderful forum to help me distress. I get to try to motivate other people to take action. There are multiple organizations. You can join Citizens Climate Lobby. You can join the Climate Reality Project. You can join the Sierra Club. You can join the Audubon Society. There are so many organizations that need your time that, yes, need your money, and we need to continue to do the work. So the reason I'm here tonight, aside from trying to motivate everybody to take action, is because I'm going to literally ask you right now, I'm going to list 5 or 6 different things that you can do. If one of them sticks with you, take it home and do it. If none of them stick with you and you're like, oh God, I don't remember what she said, there was so much, I have cards. Happens to be my Sierra Club card. Take my card, email me, call me. Let's all do this together. Number 1, I want you to be grateful every friggin' morning that you wake up, because tomorrow it could be gone. And I want you to hug your loved ones, because they could be gone. That's number 1. Well, 1 and 2 combined. And number 2, right now in Washington, D.C., your United States representative and your senators, who shall remain nameless, they are deliberating the reconciliation package. And we need to let them know that that $3.5 trillion actually wasn't enough. That $3.5 trillion was already a step down of what was needed over the next 10 years. So they need to protect every single climate issue, every single piece of climate legislation in that bill needs to be protected. No more giving back on climate. Number 3, I think I'm up to. In Tallahassee, thank you for serving. I wish you were still there. Oh gosh. In Tallahassee, they're sitting in committees right now. They're getting ready to start the 2022 legislative session. Contact your state representative, contact your state senator. There are bills to move Florida to 100% clean, renewable energy. Let's move us in that direction. And I know the sun's going down, so I'm not going to go into everything else you could do, but if you could please go to fl5.org, Florida, fl5.org, there are these petitions to modify the Florida Constitution. One of these petitions is to say that we want the right to clean water. I happen to have some of these petitions here with me. You can fill them out. You could take my card and get them more in the future. Just go to fl5.org. And finally, like Barry said, BlackRock, investing in fossil fuels. Chase Bank, Bank of America, get your money out. It's very easy to change credit cards. Snip that credit card, mail it back to the bank, and let them know you want to bank with a bank that does not support fossil fuels. And if you're free on Monday, the 18th at noon, I think Barry's going.
I am.
Barry will be there.
Boca Raton.
Boca Raton, Glades Road, in front of the BlackRock offices. Join us. We'll have that banner. And let's tell BlackRock they need to get their money out of fossil fuels. And thank you for listening. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. Thank you for all you're doing. And it is kind of discouraging, but as a Jew, we believe in Tirtzu and Zol Gadol. If you will, that it's no dream. And the people who founded Israel had incredible odds against them. They inspire us to know that we can accomplish it. You know, Pharaoh faced climate change. He had all types of climatic problems going on, and he was a climate denier. He was literally in denial, if you'll pardon the expression. But he was defeated, and so will the powers that are trying to destroy this planet. They too will be defeated. Now we're going to sing about the beauty of this country, America, the beautiful.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty, above the fruited plains. America, America, God shed His grace on me.
uplifting song to a melody that you've probably heard before. There comes a time when we're eaten of the world and the earth is threatened as it warms. There are species dying, and it's time to take a stand for life in all its varied forms. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who can save the earth if we all pitch in. There's a choice we're making, we're saving our own lives. We can help make a cooler earth, just you and me. Everyone. We can help make a cooler earth, just you and me.
There comes a time when we must turn off our news and begin to face reality. The debate is over. There's no time left to lose. Saving Earth is up to you and me.
We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who can make a change through conservation. There are glaciers melting, and it's time to take a stand. We can help save the earth, just you and me. Yes, we can all help save the earth, just you and me. CO2 now fills the atmosphere, and the level must begin to fall. And our goal is clear, 350 parts per million must become the target of us all. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who can save the earth if we all pitch in. There are oceans rising, and it's time to take a stand. We can help make a cooler earth, just you and me. Yes, we can help make a cooler earth, just you and me. Thank you so much. We now have, we're coming to the conclusion of the service with the Aleinu and the Ne'amah.
Please rise if you are ready.
Please stand. Remain standing for the Kaddish. We have the names of some people who have recently been taken from us: Esther Lenzicki, Francis Martin, Marie-Therese Victor. And also remember the anniversary whose departure occurs these days. Also, I'm not sure how to quantify this numerically, but I do know this, that of all those forest fires in California, the Amazon, Russia, Australia, there are, I venture to say, trillions of animals that have suffered and died a horrible, nightmarish death as their home was burned and destroyed, and as well as indigenous peoples. We just celebrated Indigenous Peoples Day this week, and we finally are coming to a time where we no longer celebrate a genocidal butcher by the name of Columbus. We're moving in the right direction, but indigenous people are now being threatened. Their homes are being destroyed in the Amazon. And so we say the Kaddish also for all of them. And if you like, please recite it with me. Yiskadav yiskadash shemei rabba, v'yomad yivrach v'roseh v'yamlich ma'choseh, v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayedecho beis Yisrael, v'agalav yizman kariv v'yomeh. Yehei shemei rabba mivorach l'olam u'mei yomaya, yisborach, yistabach, yisboar, yischamam, yisnaseh, yisodar, yisalev, yisalah, shemei kedeshah, v'lechu le'elah min kol brachasa v'shirasa, tushbech achaz v'nechamasa, Dam Yavon v'yomar v'yamru amen. Yehei shlam harabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yamru amen. Oseh shalom v'yamromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yamru amen. Let us also say Kaddish and good riddance to bad government, and hope that they will disappear forever as well. We now have announcements from the one, as I mentioned, who made this and all of our services possible, Sharon Leibovitz. You can be seated for this part of our service.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. This Tuesday, as we do each Tuesday evening, October 19th at 7 p.m., we have Torah study and chat with Rabbi Barry. I hope you'll join us on Zoom. And Wednesday evening, we have a wonderful Rabbi Sam Silver Controversial Issues Forum. Who are God's chosen people? The Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims, with Rabbi Barry Silver and Pastor Fritz Optenkamp. Should be a wonderful discussion. Join us on Zoom for that. We also, on October 29th at 7 p.m., we'll have our next Shabbat in person at the Fellowship Hall at 101 North Seacrest Boulevard in Boynton Beach. And, well, hopefully, I'll be able to get home in time to do our Zoom and Schmooze tonight at 8 p.m. There are membership forms on the end of that green table over there where you signed in. If you're not a member yet with Va-Dor, please join us. This is the time to join Va-Dor. Be a part of what we offer. Be a part of this wonderful congregation with our wonderful Rabbi Barry Silver. Thank you all. Shabbat Shalom.